All right, so we're working at the shop today. It's a beautiful, gorgeous spring day, as you can plainly see. And we've got some gorgeous little cars here we're working on. Right here in front, this gray one I've been working on is this little Berkeley. A lot of people have been asking about it, wondering about it. And I made a decision today. I've been doing some filling work, trying to make this body straight. And this car originally had a top with, what do you call them, press-in side windows, or like a fully made frame that you pop in with a plexiglass window. I don't think I'm ever going to use those. I think I'm going to fill these holes. So I took my grinder and I ground around the edges to give the fiberglass strand something to bite on. And while I was doing that, I figured out what's going on here. This is the metal patch that was in the back of the car. It created a hump. I believe it's a patch for a fuel tank filler that once resided in the back of the car. And look at that. I'm really glad I pulled that out. So that's fiberglass down there. Yeah. And fiberglass on top. It created a sandwich of moisture. And the bottom of it was rusting and the top of it was rusting. That would have been a persistent problem if I just tried to cover that up. So I dug it out. So I'm going to patch that up once I get that cleaned up, get all that rust out of there. It's hard to say that my fiberglass car is rusty, but that is indeed the case. I do have a rust spot on my fiberglass car. Again, the top bolts down to all these things. I'm going to make a Roadster. I don't want these, so I'm going to fill all these holes. If for some reason in the future I get a top or decide I like a top, I can always from underneath look and see where the holes are and drill them out again. But I'm going to fill all these holes. So we're working on that, and then something I haven't shown in a while is sitting right here out in the sun. It's my 54 Nash, and I figured if I'm going to be doing a lot of paint work on this thing, I might as well do some paint work on that thing. It's been sitting around for a while, so I'm charging the battery up. We'll do a cold start on it. It hasn't been started in a while. It is a 6-volt car, and it is a flathead 6. So it's kind of a fun car, but that thing's been sitting around in primer, final body work for a while. I need to go over it and block it. I need to block this. I've got a lot of blocking to do. I guess I'm just a big blockhead. Okay, so today's been a nice day, and we're working on our body doubles here, or double body work. The 57 Berkeley and the 54 Nash just finished up patching some of the fixed window holes, or I guess you call them side curtains, what the British call them. And my fiberglass came out really chunky because it's warm today and it's hard to predict the weather here in Portland, Oregon. It's gonna be warm or sunny or rainy and cold, we don't know. Ended up being warm and sunny, and my mixture was for cold. So we got some hot fiberglass patched up on the what used to be the fuel tank. This car originally came with a fuel tank up front, being a 2-cylinder car, but I have reason to believe this car was raced and it had a fuel cell in the back, and that's probably where the fuel was entered. I don't know that, except that there's a metal fuel line that runs to the back there. I don't know if you can see that or not. So that's the fuel tube that fed the engine. And yeah, so I'm gonna let that harden. I'll probably sand off that tomorrow and then give it a shot of high build primer again if it's nice and sunny, which is predicted to be. And then let's move over to the Nash. It's a 54 Nash stripper. In other words, there's hardly any chrome on this car at all. That's why I liked it. It doesn't have a radio. I think the heater was optional. It doesn't have an oil filter. It doesn't have nothing. I got the battery charging. It's a 6-volt positive ground gel cell. Try to say that all in one word. I'm going to put a little fuel in the tank here because I don't think it has any gas. I think the gas has evaporated. It's been a long time since I started this car. So let's do that and spray a little go juice down the carburetor and see if it'll fire up. Goigle, 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 goigle. Put a little gas in there. I think we put about a gallon in there. Okay, so we got about a gallon of gas in there. A little more for good measure. So I think she's pretty dry. Hoping it'll pick it up. We'll call that good. And then let's see if we can motor our way to the interior and see what it says here. This car's been sitting around for a long time. It's super dusty. I got some covers on my seats. Key here. Okay, we got red lights on the dash. That's good. And the gas gauge is doing something. Gas gauge is not doing anything. Temperature gauge went up. Well, let's put some go juice down the carburetor and see if she'll start. This is my go juice. It does have a choke. I think it's an automatic choke. Let's put a little in there. And then check the filter. Nothing in it. It's probably going to crank for a little bit. So we got this set to 6 volt, 40 amp, engine crank, 100 amp. Well, let's see what that does. This car, the starter's on the floor. You can see it right there. That's the starter. No, that's the starter up there. So you turn it on, make sure you're in neutral, and you push it to the floor. Come on, baby. Ah. Just trying. Let's give her another shot at Go Juice. You guys are probably digging all these old start, cold start, car start videos. I haven't started this car in a long time. Should fire up though. Nope, no fuel, no filter. It's going to take a little bit. If I can get the engine running, the fuel pump will pull some up, but it might be a little while. Let's try again. Oh, tried to go. It's going to need another shot. Hopefully this will do it. It's running. It's only running on 5 cylinders though. It's a lot of torque. I don't know if it'll stay running or not. Oh, I forgot I had rags shoved in the tailpipe. That might have been a problem. It sticks out so much I was afraid that I would trip on it, like a safety hazard. She's running. She's running on 5. Sweet thing. Look at that thing putting away. Doesn't have a radiator, but I shouldn't run it too long. Let's see here. This is one of those cars that's got the water pump built on the back of the generator. All right, well, I'm happy with that. She runs, idling. Although it doesn't say it has any fuel in the tank, it still looks completely empty. We'll let it run for a little bit. Yeah, that's probably good. I don't want it to overheat. So, okay, today was a productive day. We're going to start blocking this, final blocking. I hope to get this painted in this pandemic slowdown. I'd like to get that painted as well. So we'll see. I have customers coming in tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for cheering me on. And thanks for loving these old cars and checking out my videos. We'll see you on the next one.